If you're in your mid-40s right now, earning six figures and more money than you've ever earned in your life, and you think you're doing fine, you might actually be in worse shape than someone 10 years younger making 60 grand a year. And I know that sounds crazy, but by the end of this video, you're going to see exactly why the people who look the most successful on paper are quietly falling apart financially. And what's even scarier, there's a group that has it even worse than them. A group that's running out of time so fast that the math becomes almost impossible to fix. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to break down the real savings data, not the fake, feel-good averages that financial articles love to throw around. For three age groups, 35, 45, and 55, we're going to compare them side by side. And by the end, you'll know exactly which group is the most screwed and what each group can actually do about it. I've spent weeks going through Federal Reserve data, healthcare cost reports, employment research, and student loan records to put this together. And some of what I found genuinely shocked me, especially one number about the 45 to 54 group that completely changed how I think about what it means to be financially successful. Let's get into it. So when most people think about savings at different ages, they picture this nice little staircase. You save a little in your 30s, more in your 40s, and by your 50s, you should be sitting on a decent pile. That's the story we've all been told, right? Work hard, save consistently, and time does the heavy lifting. But here's the thing nobody talks about. The numbers that get thrown around in most articles and news segments. Those are averages. And averages in this case are basically lies, not on purpose. But they paint a picture that doesn't match what's happening for most people. Think of it like this. Imagine 10 people are sitting in a bar. 9 of them have about $50,000 saved for retirement. Then Elon Musk walks in. Suddenly, the average savings in that bar is somewhere around $20 billion. Everyone in the room is now a billionaire, on paper. But in reality, 9 out of 10 people in that room still can't afford to retire. That's exactly what's happening with retirement savings data in America. A small number of people with enormous accounts are dragging the average up so high that it makes everyone else look like they're doing fine. They're not. Let me show you the real numbers. According to the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, the average retirement savings for a household headed by someone aged 35 to 44 is about $141,000. Sounds decent, but the median, the number where half of people have more and half have less, drops to $45,000. That's a 215% gap between the average and the middle. For the 45 to 54 group, average savings are $313,000. The median? Only $115,000. And for the 55 to 64 crowd, the average is $537,000, but the median falls to just $185,000. So the real story is this. The typical American household in their mid-50s has about $185,000 saved for retirement, and they're probably less than 10 years away from needing that money to last them 20 or 30 years. Now you might be thinking, okay, so the oldest group is the most screwed because they're closest to retirement with not enough money. But that's actually not the full picture, because there's one group in this lineup that's falling behind faster than any other, and they don't even know it. And when I explain why, it's going to change how you look at a high salary forever. Let's start with the 35 to 44 group first, people in their mid to late 30s. On the surface, this group looks like they're behind. $45,000 in median savings isn't going to get you a retirement condo in Florida. But here's what this group has that nobody else does: time. And because of how compound interest works, that time is insanely powerful. If you're 35 right now with $45,000 saved and you start putting away $500 a month into an index fund that returns an average of 7% a year, which is roughly what the market has done historically, by the time you're 65, you'd have somewhere around $700,000. That's not perfect, but it's also not a disaster. And that's without ever getting a raise, without ever increasing your contributions, and without an employer match. Now, that doesn't mean this group doesn't have problems. They do. A lot of people in this range are dealing with massive student loan debt. The 35 to 49 age group collectively holds about $675 billion in federal student loans. That's 15 million borrowers with an average debt of around $45,000 each. So for a lot of people in their 30s, every dollar that goes to a loan payment is a dollar that doesn't go into a retirement account. But even with that drag, this group still has the one thing money can't buy: decades of runway. And that's why, despite having the lowest savings of the three groups, they're actually in the best position to fix things. But here's where this whole thing takes a turn that nobody expects. Because the next group, the one that earns more, has fancier job titles, and looks way more put together, is actually in a more dangerous position. And the reason why has nothing to do with money. It has to do with a psychological trap that almost nobody sees coming. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Because the group that's secretly in the worst position, and I mean secretly, because from the outside they look like they're winning, is the 45 to 50. I call this the golden handcuffs paradox. Here's what I mean. This age group has the highest median income of any age bracket in America, $91,880 a year. Their median wages actually hit $97,600 when you look at payroll data, the absolute peak of the wage life cycle. These are people with senior job titles, years of experience, big mortgages on nice houses, kids in travel soccer, and 2 cars in the driveway. From the outside, they look like they've made it. But look at the savings. The median retirement savings for this group is $115,000. That's it. They earn the most of any age group in the country, and they've only managed to save about $115,000 for retirement. That's barely more than someone a decade younger who's making $30,000 less per year. Let that sink in for a second. You're earning 6 figures. You've been working for 20 plus years, and you've got $115,000 saved. That's not a retirement fund. That's a really expensive emergency fund. I want to tell you a story that puts this into perspective. There was a dentist, real guy, this was written up in a financial planning case study a few years back, who was 48 years old and making around $190,000 a year. Big house, 2 kids in private school, nice cars, country club membership. From the outside, total success. But when he finally sat down with a financial advisor, they discovered he had about $95,000 in retirement savings and over $40,000 in credit card debt. He had been earning in the top 5% of the country for nearly 15 years, and he had almost nothing to show for it. His lifestyle had expanded to fill every dollar he made, and then some. When the advisor showed him the numbers, he literally said, "I thought I was rich." He wasn't. He was broke in a nice suit. That story hit me in a way I didn't expect, because if I'm being honest, I've seen versions of that same pattern in my own life. There have been times where a bigger paycheck made me feel like I was winning, and I loosened up on tracking where the money was actually going. Not in some dramatic, reckless way. Just slowly. A nicer meal here, a subscription there, an upgrade I didn't really need. And one day you look up and realize the raise you got 2 years ago didn't move the needle on your savings at all. It just evaporated into a slightly more comfortable version of the same life. That's what lifestyle inflation does. It's invisible until you look for it, and by then it's been eating your future for years. And for the 45 to 54 group, that's happening on a massive scale. They're the sandwich generation, getting squeezed by college tuition above them and aging parents below them. Healthcare premiums at age 45 are running about $702 a month, jumping to $850 by 2026. That's a 21% increase in a single year. And 38% of households in this age group don't even have a retirement account, not a 401k, not an IRA, nothing. They're earning the most money they'll ever earn in their lives, and nearly 4 out of 10 have zero formal retirement savings. But here's the psychological trap that makes this group truly dangerous to themselves. When you're 35 and you know you're behind, you can feel it. There's a sense of urgency. But when you're 47 and you're making $95,000 a year and your life looks good, there's no alarm going off. The income creates an illusion of wealth. You think, I'm making great money, I'll catch up later. But later is running out. And every year of lifestyle inflation that goes unchecked makes the problem exponentially worse. That's why I call them the hidden disaster zone, not because they have the lowest savings, but because they have the biggest gap between where they think they are and where they actually are. Now, if you're watching this and thinking this group is the most screwed, I need you to keep watching, because what comes next is worse. The 55-plus group faces something I can only describe as a final boss battle, and the odds are stacked against them in ways that go way beyond savings numbers. If the 45 to 54 group is the hidden disaster, then the 55 to 64 group is walking into a burning building with a garden hose. They can see the fire. They're trying to fight it. But the tools they have are completely outmatched by the size of the problem. Let's start with the savings number again. The median retirement savings for this group is $185,000. Financial planners generally say you need somewhere between $1 million and $1.5 million to retire comfortably. So at $185,000, the typical 58-year-old is sitting on roughly 12 to 18% of what they actually need. And they've got maybe 7 to 10 years left to close that gap. But the math to close that gap is brutal. If you're 55 with $185,000 saved and you want to get to even $1 million by 65, you'd need to save over $5,000 a month for the next 10 years, assuming a 7% return. $5,000 a month. That's $60,000 a year on top of your normal living expenses. For most people, that's simply not possible. So time. The thing that saves the 35-year-old is the thing that absolutely destroys the 55-year-old. There's no long runway. Every year that passes makes the math exponentially harder. And then healthcare enters the picture, and it gets truly scary. At age 55, the average monthly healthcare premium is $1,084. By 2026, it's projected at $1,313. That's almost $16,000 a year just on premiums alone. And that doesn't even touch deductibles, copays, prescriptions, specialist visits, or unexpected procedures. And remember, these people are still years away from Medicare eligibility at 65, so there's no government safety net waiting just around the corner. People aged 55 and older account for 56% of all health spending in America, even though they're only 31% of the population. The healthcare system is basically designed to drain this age group right when they can least afford it. Then there's long-term care. The National Council on Aging says that someone turning 65 today has almost a 70% chance of needing some kind of long-term care during their lifetime, and Medicare doesn't cover it. Long-term care insurance? The premiums are astronomical if you try to buy a policy in your mid-50s. Many people wait too long, and by the time they try to get coverage, they're either priced out or denied because of health conditions. And then there's the job market, the part nobody wants to talk about. Age discrimination is real, it's widespread, and it hits hardest right here. Research shows that older job applicants get significantly fewer callbacks than younger ones, even with identical qualifications. In the tech industry, 70% of IT workers have either seen or experienced age discrimination. And if someone in their late 50s loses their job, the odds of finding comparable work quickly are painfully low. Long-term unemployment, being out of work for 6 months or more, is much more common for older workers, and the longer you're out, the lower your future earnings tend to be. On top of all that, people aged 50 to 61 collectively owe $308 billion in federal student loans with an average balance of $48,000 each. So even at 57, some people are still making student loan payments while trying to save for a retirement that's less than a decade away. Imagine this scenario. You're 56. You've been at your company for 15 years. You get laid off in a restructuring. You apply for jobs, but the callbacks aren't coming. 3 months go by. 6 months. A year. Your 401k contributions stop. You start dipping into savings to cover bills. Your healthcare costs jump because you're no longer on employer insurance. And every month, the retirement clock keeps ticking. That's the final boss battle. It's not just one problem. It's limited time, rising healthcare costs, age discrimination, possible unemployment, lingering debt, and a savings balance that was never large enough to begin with. A perfect storm. And for people in this age group, the margin for error is basically zero. The 35-year-old is behind, but they've got time to fix it. Every dollar they invest now has 30 years to grow. Their biggest enemy is procrastination, the belief that they'll start saving later. But if they start now, even modestly, the math is on their side. The 45-year-old is the hidden disaster. They earn the most, look the most successful, and are secretly falling behind faster than anyone. Their biggest enemy is the illusion of wealth. The golden handcuffs that make them feel rich while their savings tell a completely different story. They still have time, but the window is closing fast. And the 55-year-old? They're walking into a burning building with a garden hose. The time advantage is gone. Healthcare costs are skyrocketing. The job market is working against them. And the gap between where they are and where they need to be is often too wide to close through savings alone. If I had to pick which group is the most screwed, meaning which group has the hardest path to a secure retirement from where they stand right now, it's the 55 to 64 group, not because they didn't try, not because they didn't work hard, but because the system, the healthcare system, the job market, the way compound interest punishes you when you don't have time. The system is stacked against them in ways that are almost impossible to overcome with willpower alone. But here's the thing that matters more than any of that. Whichever group you're in right now, the worst thing you can do is nothing. The 35-year-old who says, "I'll deal with it later," becomes the 45-year-old trapped in golden handcuffs, who becomes the 55-year-old facing the final boss with no health potions left. It's the same person, just 10 and 20 years later, wishing they'd started sooner. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. The best time to fix your retirement savings was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now, not tomorrow, not next paycheck. Now, even if it's just $50 a month, even if it's just opening the account and setting up an automatic transfer, start. Because the math doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care about your plans. It only cares about what you actually do. And every single day you delay, the hill gets steeper. If you want to see exactly how to build a savings plan that actually works, no matter what age you are, watch this video next.